Okay, so the last muscle groups that we need to work on are the neck muscles. So I'm going to be drawing the rough out of some heads. I don't want you to worry about the heads for now. That's not what this course is on. If you're interested in drawing the human head, you can check out that course. So you'll probably notice a couple of familiar things while I'm doing this. First off being collarbones here. And then the trapezius muscles there. So let's, for simplicity's sake, let's clean this up a little bit. Okay, the other thing I'm going to quickly do is I'm going to quickly bring up the other one of the other files that we're working on, and that's the one with the back in it. So let's just do that here. Okay. So what we want, we're looking at the trapezius muscle here. So this muscle here is this muscle here. Okay, which is what we have here. So this muscle here goes all the way up behind the ear, like this. Okay, that's the muscle there that we're looking at. It comes all the way up and attaches behind the head. So if I was to draw a head in here, let's go out ear on this side, ear on that side. That's where that muscle attaches there. So the next thing we need is up beside the head there again, we have another muscle, comes down like this, and attaches to the collarbone here. Pretty simple so far, just two muscles. And the next one is we have a muscle that comes, so we have a bunch of muscles here. We have one that comes down underneath like that. And that's the main thing that we're going to be looking at for drawing it for illustration purposes. And I will show you that in just a second, but first let's tackle the same thing from the side view. So we have this trapezius muscle here. This is where our shoulder would be. And our pectoral muscle. Of course, our collarbone in here should come up to here. Then we have from behind the ear here, we have this muscle coming down, and then the other important one is this one here underneath. Like that. Okay, so let's just quickly clean up this one for you. Okay, so now how do we do this for, how would we translate this exact anatomy into the human body underneath the skin, what we would see underneath the skin? Might just take the opacity for a second down on this, and then I'll show you. So we'd indicate this and we'd indicate this. Okay, we would not necessarily need to indicate where the trapezius ends there. Okay, on some cases, say if you're drawing the Hulk or a bodybuilder, you might do it, but for the majority you would not. Okay, but it would just be about indicating where these lines are. Okay, like that. The other thing that I'm doing is I'm chucking in an Adam's apple, which you can do obviously if you're drawing a guy. Not really any point doing it if you're drawing a female. Now I know we haven't really touched on drawing the muscles under the skin, like a bit more subtle, which we will do that in a minute. But for now, just but you can see how I'm just kind of indicating it, you know. And I might chuck a bit like this, I might chuck a bit down like this. Same here, it depends, okay. But yeah, it's all about hinting at it as opposed to drawing it. You know, you want to make people have to use their brains a little bit. Okay, so it's a very short, quick lesson, but that's all we need to know for this part. So let's move on.